Skyward Sword meets Breath of the Wild, which
I mean,
Skyward Sword is one of my favorites. It's probably
you
top
can't
3 for me.
you can't really justify the $70 price tag because it's going to be a bigger game because there's games like Fallout,
Mm-hmm.
Skyrim's a big one that were $60 in its day, and they're massive. Like there's things to this day people in Skyrim have not seen
Well, here's the
or
thing:
found.
when Zelda decided to do their $70 price tag, everybody else did. They're like, "Oh fuck it, I guess we're all gonna jump in on this money bandwagon here," and that's why it really sucks. Like, I can understand one game being $70. I can, but
Yeah,
every fucking game is now going to be $70. Like, it's still hard to find a PS4. It's a little bit easier than it was a couple of years ago. So, and then you got to spend what, $600 on a PS4, and same for Xbox. It's so, how much money are we going to be putting into these things? And then to top it off, DLC is going to come out. That's going to be $20 too, depending on how many we have. I know with Breath of the Wild, I was pretty disappointed with most of the DLC because it wasn't really any gaming or gameplay DLC. It was mostly just like add-ons of a couple little missions here or there, and that's
yeah.
really it. And like you got
I mean,
one cool like motorcycle as your mount instead of a horse. That was like the big one.
I've said it before with the whole like $70 thing. Like when it comes to like bigger games like Call of Duty, like I get like they went from their old engine to a new engine, but that's been happening for a long time. And they're going from old software to new software. They're trying to, but the whole shortage of PS5s and all that and
Mm-hmm.
Xboxes. Um, that was kind of like their justification of the price point of games going up $10. It's like, look, we're using a new engines and new software that takes more money for production and all of this crap. It's like, I get it, but like when you're a game that's not really using an updated engine, because it literally just looks like Breath of the Wild.
Well,
It's
see,
like the
I,
same
Yeah.
the same
I
engine, but like you got games out there like Call of Duty that's made by a multi-billion-dollar company
mm-hmm.
who knows if they sold the game for $20, um, they would still get all of their money back plus some because everyone's going to buy the newest skin pack or operator pack that they got.
That's what I was gonna say. Call
And
of Duty might be the worst of them because they make all their money with in-game purchases.
yeah,
So why are they still charging? Why did they decide to rate their? So that logic goes out the window because they made over $1 billion last time just on in-game purchases.
I mean, I think their biggest thing was like Modern Warfare 2 was
I don't
using
know about $1 billion.
it's using a different type of engine than they. Well, I think it's the same engine they used in Modern Warfare 2019, but just updated. I
Yeah, and
guess
if you
I don't know.
the $70 price tax is the more you spend, the more they can tax you. The more money they make, the more money they make, the more food they can buy to feed the megalodon, who is attracting the aliens.
Okay.
So in the long run, we're just gonna get more leaks.
It's
So
just kind of hard for me to want to buy. I mean, I'm gonna buy it because I like Call of Duty, but like now I'm seeing news about the one that's coming out in 2023. It was just supposed to be that Modern Warfare 2 was going to be a 2-cycle game instead of a yearly cycle like they've been doing for the past however many years.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Um, which I didn't really like the news I saw. Um, it's just going to be Modern Warfare 3, and then I honestly like I just feel like it's going to be a cookie cutter of what Modern Warfare 2 is, but like more content.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like the original plan from what I heard and all the leaks, like Charlie Intel, who's on point with everything. I swear to God, the guy works at Activision and just leaks everything, and no one's found out about him yet. The original plan was this game will be $70, $110 for the deluxe edition, and then it's going to be a 2-year cycle game. And then in November, instead of releasing a new game, they're going to bring like a fuckload of content that they're going to back up 16 dump trucks and just dump it on you.
Mm-hmm.
And there you go. So you got more content for the next year until the next game comes out.
Well, see, here's
And they were kind of trying to justify the $70 price tag with it. But then after a couple of months of the game being out, I heard they're going to have a new game in this year in November for 23, and it's going to have this $70 price tag. And I'm like, it's like you put all this time into one game, and I get you integrate Warzone, but it's like, why are you gonna make me pay $70 for basically Modern Warfare 2 Pro Edition? That's pretty much what
Yeah.
it is. If they do a Modern Warfare 3, like it's gonna have a campaign, I heard, and all this other stuff, but it's like, why are you gonna make me pay $70 for the same game with a different campaign and the same guns, maybe a little updated, and then you're gonna give me bullshit in the Battle Pass?
Yeah, I'm already a stickler about paying $60 for video games.
Right.
I don't think any game I've seen that's coming out looks $70 worth.
Nothing is. I agree with you 100% on that, Matt.
Yeah.
I don't see anything. Really, the only thing I can, in my mind, the only thing I could justify would be the next Elder Scrolls game, because fuck, I'm
Yeah.
still playing Skyrim.
Yeah.
That's why, because it's a never-ending game. No matter how many times you start over with a new race or whatever, the game is never the same. It's always different. Where
Yeah.
with Zelda, it's always the same. I mean, I will say Breath of the Wild was a little bit different in which you could do a lot more in that game. But once you get the hang of how everything works, it's the same thing. I mean, it's
Yeah. Even with Tears of the Kingdom, like what Bishop said, it looks just like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And if Breath of the Wild was $60, you haven't done any. Nintendo hasn't done anything outrageous or crazy to justify a $70 price tag. If they're like, hey, you guys get 80 hours playtime and we've added 20 something new things you can do. Okay, I mean, I'm not gonna pay $70. I'll wait for it to come down, or I'll get it at like GameStop.
yeah, but Nintendo's.
But the horrible
Nintendo's
thing about-
notorious. They never drop their prices, and they
Yeah.
almost never put stuff like that on sale. How many times did you
That-
see Breath of the Wild on sale? Almost never.
That's the worst thing about Nintendo. It's like, you want the game, you want it to come down in price. You might be waiting 10 years for it to come down in price, or you could just go to G2A maybe and get it for like half the price.
Yeah,
Or
I think I
one
told
of
you
those
guys.
other websites and just get a key, plug it in, there you go. There's your fucking
Yeah.
game.
Right.
Yeah, I told you guys the other day. I was at Target. This is last week, I think, and Super Smash is still $59.99.
Yep. I saw that too.
Yeah.
I looked it up because I told you I wanted to get it for the Switch for the next time we go on Midnights, and I looked it on the store for Nintendo. I can't remember what it's called. It's
eShop.
eShop, and it's still full price.
Yeah.
It will not drop the price. And then
That's-
not only that, how many DLC characters does Smash have? 20?
Yeah, a ton.
So and that's not cheap. So you're looking at over $100 right there on one game.
Yeah, I mean,
I miss the old days of gaming. It's like, you paid $60 for a game or whatever it was, and then, I mean, I'm not talking about the old days. I'm talking like 10 years ago, 12 years ago. You bought a game for $60, and then you had DLC come out that was like $15-20, and you had to do that 4 times, and there you go.
You know what I did?
I mean, it was still pricey, but at
If
the
you-
same time,
you could just buy
you got a lot of content.
What are they? The Game Pass, I think it was called, or something like
oh,
that.
the season pass.
Season
Yeah,
pass.
season
where
pass.
You get every DLC. It was like $25, and you get any DLC that comes out. That was fucking great. Fine, I'll
But-
do that all day.
Quick little hot take. There's a lot of games out there that have season passes, but don't really need a season pass. Like, I remember when I bought the Callisto Protocol, just because I was watching Djibouti Dubs play it. It came with a season pass, and I'm like, why does a horror game have a fucking season pass? Like, I get you're gonna have DLC coming out and stuff, but like,
Well, that's why you
Yes.
you don't have to pay for
Yeah.
the DLC. You get,
But
it- but
you
it's-
get it, and you would get a day earlier than everybody else.
but it's like a game like that really doesn't need to have a season pass, because like when I think season pass, I think of something like Call of Duty or
Yeah, some online.
Yeah, but like this is a horror game that's gonna have like little DLCs here and there, which I don't even know if they're gonna do now because that game kind of tanked. But it's just like kind of ridiculous to have a season pass for a game that's basically just a horror game. That's a copy of Dead Space, but Melee. It's Melee Dead Space.
Okay.
Another hot take. Another hot take.
Two hot takes in a row, man. Bishop's
Good
on
Lord,
fucking
Bishop.
fire.
I mean, I guess it's not really a hot take, because like everybody like said that about the game, but there were some people pissed off, like, "Oh, it's not Dead Space," and I was like, "Have you ever played Dead Space? It's literally a carbon copy with updated graphics, and this is like the tester of what Dead Space Remastered is going to be."